In today's video, we are going to show you how to take Fantini Fabrication 86 to 93 Mazda B series front bag bracket kits. And we are going to show you how to go from this completely stock to this. Alright, so what you're going to want to do is disassemble all of this. As you can see, I have like a little catch pan right here with oil rag in it. First thing I'm going to do is remove this brake line with a 12mm. And when I do that, I already did the other side. I got this just empty oil jug. I'm going to just let that drain off in there, like move it over somewhere else out of the way. And then I'm going to jump to these, also 12mm. And then there are some back here, which that's how you drop the bottom, with those 4 right there. And I'm pretty sure those are 14mm. That way we can get this whole rotor, brake assembly, spindle out of the way. We need to get back in here, all up in here. So I'm gonna take this off. It's just a little flap. All this stuff, I'm gonna take it off. I am going to probably cut this brake line tab right here, because you're not gonna need that tab there anymore. This one right here, you're gonna have to relocate it. And then I'm gonna come in and clean all this stuff up. Sorry, it's like I'm moving the video around. I'm holding my cell phone in my hand. It will be on a tripod so I can somewhat show you how to do this. Pretty much you need to get all this stuff out of the way, and then I'm going to put the phone on the tripod and show you from there. Alright, so one thing I did not mention is this steering arm right here. You got to get this castle nut off, and pickle fork over there. I got the torch out just in case these bolts give me a little trouble. But now it's time to take out the shock up here, down here. Sorry. And go from there. Next thing would be to take out the upper control arm. I found it is way easier, because you have to cut it anyways to get this out, is to take your shock out. And once you get the shock cut out, I'm going to plaz across the top right here just to get it out of the way, because it's much easier to get that upper control arm out of the way. Much easier that way. It comes out super simple. But back here, behind those nuts, on the other side of those nuts, on the other side of the shock tower, there's some shims. You're gonna see there's gonna be a long shim that goes to both sides, one over here, one over there, and then there'll be 2 little shims. Make sure you put those shims back the way you took them out. One will be thicker than the other, or they might be the same. Just make sure you put them right back in the same spot that you took them out. After that, we will go from there, and I'll start marking out what I'm going to be cutting off and what we don't need anymore. And thanks for watching. I will post more videos as we go. So now that it is daylight, everything with the white paint on it is going to be cut out. So we're not going to need this anymore. We're not going to need these bump stop mounts. The whole thing on both sides are going to get cut. We could cut that off. We don't need any of this anymore. The whole piece needs to come out, including that little square in the bottom. We don't need this anymore. And we will get going on that later. But for now, I'm just marking out, showing everywhere what you're going to need to cut out to install this kit. Again, this is a video on the Fantini Fabrication 86 to 93 Mazda B series pickups. They're all pretty much the same. Matter of fact, I think they're all the same. We're not going to need this bar here anymore. You're going to, when you put this kit in, it is meant to have all 4 corners on switches, not just front and back. You'll get a lot of body roll if you just have front and back, because we're taking out the sway bar, and this arm right here we don't need, so we're taking that out. And later on I will show how we're gonna pocket this area down here. Also, I want to be cutting out this little hump because I'm gonna put my spindle on top instead of on the bottom, so we got to get rid of this. And you pretty much just follow that around, make a nice cut and smooth it all out. Don't mind the mess, it will look a lot better when it gets done. Like this side over here, this one's pretty much ready for me to put the spindle back in, and the rotor, and hook up the steering arm, all that good stuff. I'm actually ordered brand new upper and lower ball joints, so we're just waiting for those to finish this side up. While I was in here, I went ahead and painted the frame and everything else. You are going to have to buy bolts for this kit. I will try to put that in the description, which ones I had gotten, and go from there. So next step, cutting all this stuff out. So when while installing this Fantini Fabrication bracket for the front, I went ahead and scored that line right there, like pretty much like on the top of the frame. Go a little lower than it, so you can see it's a little lower than it, because if you go too high, you're gonna have to fill a gap in on the top right here. If you cut it too high now, you can't go back. So just cut it low. We're gonna have to take pretty much from here down and then straight down here. All this stuff, all this is gonna have to come out. Pretty much we're gonna take this section out of it, but we're gonna leave this. It will also get up here. It's not straight, but I just cut it to get that out. And then I'm gonna come back and cut it straight across. That way we can have our cap on the top. Pretty much like at the bottom of that right there. Go just under that, straight across. And I'll show you what it will look like later.